seen the cool hoodies and the t-shirts, but what is the Kenya Worth Project? It's a Salvation Army project in Kenya West that affirms the worth we all have because of God's imprint in us. There are lots of ways that the devil works to try to make us forget that Jesus has already proved that we and everyone we meet is worth his blood. If we know him, we seek to honor people's worth. It's called love. And the Worth Project is a way of responding to poverty, exploitation, and sickness in a way that honors the worth of everyone involved. It's an investment savings model and a community education model that enhances women's capacity to flourish as businesswomen and fight human trafficking, HIV/AIDS, and malaria. How it works is that the Salvation Army, using staff and women from the Home League, forms groups of up to 25 women who, as a group, they set their own rules and they figure out how they're going to save money together, how they're going to lend money, and that helps them to start their businesses, to let their businesses grow. And as they do that, they also seek to impact on the social issues that are important in their communities. Right now, there are about 17,000 women in Kenya West who are part of the Worth Project. So what's our task? Our task will be to fund the community-based training with regards to HIV, human trafficking, and malaria. Over the next 3 years, 25,000 women will be able to be trained in how they can respond to these issues in their local communities. We need to raise $20,000. We can do that here. We can do that through purchasing merchandise. We can do that fundraising in our core. We can do that by donating to the website that is visible on the t-shirt. And you might ask, how does an investment savings model and community education go together? Well, as women increase in their business stature, in their community stature, they start to feel more confident, they have more influence and more respect, and they're more able to act about the things that they already care about. Trafficking is important because in Kenya, it's a huge source of people who are trafficked, but it's also a place where people who are being trafficked travel through, and it's also a recipient country. People in Kenya are at risk of being trafficked because there is such a high unemployment rate. In some of the areas where this project works, there is a 60% unemployment rate. So people are at risk of moving to other countries that don't have laws that protect people engaged in domestic labor. So it's important for us to be able to support the project as it helps people to figure out how to not get involved and also how to recover when they come home and they've had a horrible experience somewhere else. Another issue that's important is malaria. 20% of children who die before turning 5 in Kenya have died of malaria. 1 out of every 20 deaths worldwide from malaria occurs in Kenya. And the really tragic part about this is it's both incredibly preventable and treatable. I had a friend who contracted malaria a couple of times while she was serving in Africa, and she said, you take the medicine and you're better in 3 days. But people are losing their children. And so it's important for us to be able to support a project that helps moms to know what they can do to prevent their child from getting malaria and what they can do if their child actually does contract malaria. The third issue is HIV/AIDS. 1.6 million adults in Kenya are HIV positive, according to the Kenyan government. That's 6.1% of the adult population, which is 6 times greater than an epidemic level. So it's important for people to have information about transmission, and it's important for people to understand that there's value in testing, that knowing that you have HIV isn't the end, but it's the beginning of understanding how to live with this virus and how to live in a way that's safe for the people whom you love. So this project gives us the opportunity to connect our caring hearts with the caring hearts of women in Kenya who are changing their communities. Because women already care for their communities, they are able to use the skills that they're gaining through this project to mobilize men, other women and children to respond to the challenges of human trafficking, HIV and AIDS, and malaria in a way that affirms the worth of all. When we engage in fundraising here, when we engage in fundraising in our core, I'd like us to think about our fantastic music team. You know, they spent so much time and effort working late nights, all nights, working to make this music. Not just to make music, to put it on a CD, to say, I have my own track, but because they can say, this is for something bigger. God has given me a gift to do something that has an impact, not just on my community here, but across the world. And when they're up all night working on this, when they were tired and exhausted, they knew it was worth it. And I guarantee you, whatever sacrifice you make, however much money you don't spend on yourself at Dave & Buster's, and you serve to this project, it's going to be worth it. Whenever we make sacrifices in love, it is always worth it.